Hi, everyone. We hope you are doing well and staying safe. So in this stewardship season, things are looking a little bit differently than they have in past years. We continue to talk about the importance of giving our tithes and our offerings at Hope United Methodist Church this November, like we do most every fall. But because the majority of the congregation is worshiping from the comfort and safety of their own homes, we've decided to bring stories and money stories of why people choose to give to Hope UMC to you, to your home. And so this stewardship video is a compilation of various members from Hope United Methodist Church. We have a diverse assortment of stories and testimonies of people who passionately believe in the ministry and mission of Hope UMC. And I am certain you will be blessed by their words and by them sharing their hearts. And for us as a couple, I wanted to share with all of you why we believe it is so important for us to financially give to the mission and ministry of Hope UMC. We contribute and believe in the ministries that Hope is a part of, and we want to be a part of something so much bigger than ourselves too. And I wanted Russ to share his view of stewardship and giving.
So, as most of you know, this summer I did not have a job. And even though I didn't have a job, we continued to give. And it's become a normal thing and a big deal and just part of the way that we do things now. And it wasn't always that way for me, myself. As I went through college and after college, I attended a pretty large church in Denver. And I really wasn't connected there, and I really didn't see the need or the want or why I should be giving to that church. So I didn't. I just went about my life, and I didn't really care, and it wasn't a big deal to me. And then when I finally got connected and went to Angie's church, which was a Methodist church in Denver, I got to see kind of the amazing community that was there, the amazing family atmosphere, and then how much the church actually did, whether it was outreach events for the community, for the kids, different things that they offered and did. I saw the value in that, and I was a part of that, not just because I was at the time dating Angie or eventually marrying Angie, but because I got to see firsthand and be invited to a lot of those things. People made me feel very accepted and a part of the church, and really pushed me to do more things within the church. And it was at that point that I realized, giving to the church is a very, very important thing. Not just because the Bible says so or because God tells you to give, like we've all heard so many times of the different verses and what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do and all that, but to actually see the money in use and the ways that it is used within ministry, within outreach, within the community, within helping each other as a church. I saw the benefits and the reasons for why we should do that. And so it was at that point that I started giving. And since then, and since Angie and I got married, we continue to give, whether it was the church we had back in Denver or whether it's here at Hope. And so we do understand not just the necessity, honestly, but the reasoning for why and why it's so important, and honestly, what it's able to do. To see the little things that we do at Hope and to see all the big things that we do, even for the size of our church. I see us doing things in the community that many of the other churches around here don't do. And I think a lot of that has to do with the wonderful generosity of this congregation and the willingness to give wholeheartedly, and to really push what is able to be given. And I think that's a huge deal, especially for a smaller church, which honestly I think is one of Hope's best qualities, is the fact that everybody is connected, everybody knows each other. Everybody treats each other like family, whether it's their first Sunday here or your 100th Sunday here. And to see the events and things that we've been putting on in the last over a year and a half since we've gotten here, whether it was the fall festival last year, whether it was the trunk or treat this year, all of those events that we were able to do and talk to people in the community that were so grateful and so appreciative that we were doing those things. And those all happen because of the giving that we do and the giving that you do. And so that is kind of why I've seen the importance of it. And I see, really what it's able to do within our own community right here in Billings.
Pastor Angie has asked us to give a brief explanation of why we give to the ministry at Hope United Methodist Church. First and foremost, Carol and I deeply believe in the motto of our church. That is to have open hearts, open minds, and open doors.
When we consider what matters most to us in providing financial support to Hope, we consider what our gifts are able to do. They can support our staff and the services they provide, but they can also support our ministries such as Family Promise, community outreach efforts such as the food drives and the clothing drives, creating an environment for groups like Scouts, Narcotics Anonymous, MOPS, and others to safely gather in.
It is a conscious decision to volunteer our services whenever possible to the needs of Hope. It is also a conscious decision to pledge a specific amount every month so the financial situation at church can be as stable as the one Carol and I have worked to create in our own home.
I'm a charter member of Hope, and Dick joined the church in 2010 and was active in the choir for several years prior to that. We have worked hard to be consistent and generous in our giving. We feel that that is what God has called us to do. For us, pledging creates a sense of giving without being asked to. It follows a plan that we used many years ago at Hope, long before Dick and I were a couple. And that is, I will not give only that which costs me nothing. I'm going to repeat that. I will not give only that which costs me nothing.
We value the relationship we have within Hope. We value the impact that our church makes on our membership and within our local community and the community at large.
Prioritizing our commitment to Hope in the form of a pledge encourages us to acknowledge the fact that the church must operate in a sensible business fashion, and that requires a budget. Prioritizing our commitment to Hope in attendance, volunteering, and relationships encourages us to acknowledge the very valuable fact that this is our spiritual home and the place where our relationships with God and each other continue to grow.
By continuing to pledge every year to Hope, we hope to live up to the concept of keeping our United Methodist motto healthy, that we will continue to do our part to create a worship space with open hearts, open minds, and open doors.
Years ago, as a young parent, it was important to me to find a place that would help support our efforts in raising our daughters. The idea of being the only one to teach them about God, Christian beliefs, and right from wrong was overwhelming. Following a church service early in our days at Hope, Emily, who was 3.5 at the time, out of nowhere proclaimed she wanted to play the piano and sing with those kids. We quickly got involved in children's choir and Sunday school. Over the years, we've added Vacation Bible School, Family Promise, youth group, mission trips, committee service, and multiple rummage sales to our service at Hope. The people of Hope quickly became our friends and extended family and celebrated our baptisms, birthdays, piano recitals, confirmations, and graduations. Sarah's continued engagement with citywide youth group, mission trips, and worship service are a testament to how Hope has given her a place to grow in her faith and connect with supportive, loving people. Hope has given us a place to share our time and our talents, whether through weekly offering, sorting and pricing items for a rummage sale, leading book study, serving our Family Promise guests, contributing to community mission, or supporting building repairs. We are proud to support Hope and the wonderful work we are doing in our community.
37 years ago, we started coming to Hope United Methodist Church because we wanted our 1-year-old to have the same religious experiences we did. We were welcomed with open arms, and we still see that going on in the church today. Roddy and I decided at that time we'd financially support the church to the best of our ability. God does tell us to tithe. Our family could not always tithe, but we gave because of our love for God, the church, and the people. It has always given us great joy to give. We know all we have comes from God, and we are so blessed. Because I'm on the finance committee, I see how important it is to financially support our church, our pastor, keep the lights on, and all the programs the church are involved in. What we don't always see are the faces and the lives of those the church does support. That is why Roddy and I will continue to tithe to Hope United Methodist Church.
My life is very relationship focused. I really wasn't looking to add anything more to my plate. It wasn't until a couple of people urged me to come check out this new pastor from Colorado. I was finally okay, I'll come. And the church service was great. And Angie made a point to come over to me afterwards and introduce herself and call me by name, which is really important to me. And she just said, I would love to go get coffee with you. And I was like, okay, I suppose I can give this lady an hour of my time. And that hour quickly turned into a couple. And I loved having that conversation with her and asking really, really poignant questions about spirituality and religion. And truthfully, it was probably a conversation that I had craved to have with someone who is not only, open to new ideas, but also knowledgeable in her field. And we quickly became friends. And when you love and admire someone, you will support them in anything they're interested in, passionate about. And so it was an easy decision for me to give to the church. And I'm really blessed to know her and be a part of this community. We all long for that, and I'm just really blessed to be a part of this.
We came to Hope Church in about 1983. We bought a home in the Heights, and I just thought with 2 school-age children it would be very difficult to drive back and forth for every church activity. I wanted my kids to be a part of a church community that was close to them, and it was a really good church change. The people in this church are more than just a church community. They're my family. And I love that Hope is so welcoming, has so many fun ideas, and that our beliefs are that Jesus loves us and gives us grace. It was said that it is not how much money we should give to God, but how much of God's money we should keep for ourselves. With that in mind, I know it is important to provide upkeep for the building because we use it for worship. Along with that, prior to COVID, the church just does not sit idle all week, but it's used for many community meetings and functions. This is a way that our money and our building can be useful in the community and not just be a meeting place on Sundays. I think that's very important. One reason that people give is that it gives us an opportunity to give back. At Hope, we don't just have an opportunity to give our money, but we can give of ourselves and our time. This is impactful and important. I feel that Hope Church has given to our community in so many ways. The Family Promise Ministry gives Hope members an occasion to provide meals, and prior to COVID, a shelter to people who need assistance in our community. MOPS, Mothers of Preschoolers, is a weekly gathering for mothers. Our church has had food drives for the food bank and recently a coat drive. These things make a difference in our community. I've had the opportunity to teach Sunday school, serve on various committees, and participate in a variety of activities. Our church has Bible studies and studies of books that increase our knowledge of Christ. We have learning opportunities for children and teens as well. I love the fact that during this time of COVID, our church has changed with the restrictions and did not just wait for the virus to be over. Outdoor worship, online worship, Zoom meetings, social distancing, Facebook messages, telephone trees are all ways we've kept connected during this time. This sounds more like why I am happy to go to Hope United Methodist Church, but these are reasons why I feel it is an opportunity to minister to community and each other through our gifts of time and money.
Hello everyone. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Lauren Allen. I have been a congregant at Hope since February of 2019, so I'm a relatively new attendee. Angie asked that I create this video to share why I chose to financially support Hope. And one of the main reasons that I chose to give was that I view the church as a provider of services, and these services include that it provides a sense of community and provides an opportunity for me to give back and support the community of Billings. It also provides a good opportunity for education, both faith and non-faith education. So those are kind of the things that I appreciate about the church and kind of the services that the church provides me. And just some background, I did run a very small nonprofit for a little while, so I understand that it takes some money to keep the lights on and keep providing these services to congregants. So I made the decision to help support that because I do know that it costs money to provide these services. So yeah, that's why I chose to give to Hope. Thanks all.
Hi, we're the Pinnock family. My name is Brad. This is my wife Felicia and my son Kian and my daughter Lauren. And we started to go into Hope Church about a year ago. And really from the moment we walked in, we felt welcomed by the congregation and by Pastor Angie, and just really felt that sense of community through going to church there, and have really enjoyed our time thus far. One of the things we were looking for in a church was that sense of community, and that's been really important to us, and we're so glad that we made the choice to come to Hope and have really enjoyed our time there. When you talk about being a steward to the church, one of the most important things for us, like I said, is community, and we are so appreciative and proud of what Hope has done for this community. The different programs, whether it's giving to the needy, doing a community program like the drive-through trick-or-treat here at Halloween. We have just been thoroughly impressed by the outreach and the giving that this church does to this community, not only just for its congregation, but folks throughout Billings and the greater area. We happily give to Hope every month, and hope that others can find ways to do that as well. We feel like it's so important, and this is such a great place for us to be, for us to raise our kids and have them learn in Christ just as we are doing. So we look forward to seeing you folks all again, and I hope you guys have a great day.
I want to thank everyone for sharing their money stories with us. And I want to thank you, all of you, for generously and faithfully partnering with the ministry and mission of Hope United Methodist Church. It is through your continued support that we are able to be the hands of hope to each other and to the world.